Jeffrey Epstein documents are unsealed. What do they contain? Over 2,000 files released today. We're back. Mike Cernovich. Cernovich.com, here to talk about it. I've been poring over these files all day. It has been a lurid, unpleasant affair. Not the way that I wanted to spend my day. I can think of other ways to spend my day than to read writings and case filings into a pedo. Hold on. We lost Wi-Fi there for a minute, guys. Now I'm going to have to read 15 comments. Wi-Fi's slow, right? I always love that whenever there's a technical glitch. Wi-Fi slow. Yes. We all figured that out, right? When 50 people all say the same thing, that's your contribution. But anyway, I've been spending all day going through the documents, looking at them, quite lurid, quite disgusting, and it's kind of weird to say quite lurid and quite disgusting, and then I'm going to share them with you. You always feel weird as a reporter when you report on this stuff because it's all, very gross, but it's the truth, it's the truth that people have to know. I mean, this is the world we live in, right? It's just the world we live in. And it doesn't do any good. It doesn't do any good to be ignorant of the truth. It doesn't do any good to not know what is actually going on in the world. It does no good for anyone. That's the problem. Like a lot of people have, they don't want to go. Just admit that this is the place we live. This is the world we live in. This is the sickness in our society, and it's happening everywhere, happening at all levels, multiple. Bill Richardson was allegedly, was accused. I say allegedly because, he denies it. He's definitely denying it. But there's a lot of people. So we'll just go ahead and read them. We'll just go ahead. Hold on, guys. Sorry. This is all sort of annoying here. I'm trying to invite my followers on Twitter. Somebody showed me a trick that I can invite my followers when I go live, but it isn't working. Just been endless frustrations today, people. Spending all day reading this stuff, and then people lying and taking credit for this, not getting credited for it, and then people saying, oh, you're not supposed to want credit. Yeah, so the person does all the work. The person who does all the work takes all the risk, and then everyone else vultures what that person does, right? What kind of loser says that, right? You shouldn't care about credit. No, you should actually ensure that people who do the work get the credit. That really is the problem today. Is, journalists don't care. Journalists don't plagiarize a journalist article and watch the press corps freak out on you, right? Plagiarize one of their articles. Boy, they care an awful lot about that. So what do we have here? We have Bill Clinton, by the way, technical glitches, so I can't show you the documents as I read them, unfortunately. So you just have to take me at my word that I'm reading them correctly. But Bill Clinton held a private event on Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile island, according to one of Epstein's victims. Now, Clinton's denied ever being at the island. One of Epstein's victims say it was. And Ghislaine Maxwell, the interesting aspect, once you get past the truly nasty, truly satanic stuff, is that you see how this works, how they go after girls who are in troubled homes, maybe girls who maybe there's not a parent around as much as there could be or as much as there should be. And that's who Ghislaine Maxwell targeted. That's who all of these people target. They target people from broken homes, and that's why I sincerely do believe that this is why they want broken homes. They want broken homes because that gives them more targets. It gives them more people more people who are vulnerable. A lot of people say, a lot of people would say that is a conspiracy theory. A lot of people would say that. But the flip side to that is, what if I told you, say, a year or 2 years ago, that there was a billionaire, had an island, had a pedophile island, and he would have royalty and former presidents there, former governors. Another allegation is that former governor Bill Richardson allegedly partied with Epstein on his island. Epstein's Amazon orders include the following books: SM-101, A Realistic Introduction, Slavecraft, Roadmaps for Erotic Servitude, and a workbook for erotic slaves and their owners. So Epstein was, when you call them sex slaves or whatever, that was sexual slavery. He wasn't just kinky stuff, right? Because I'm pro. If he's dating 21-year-olds, that's his own business, right? It's nobody's business. But let me just read to you the excerpt. Very, very traumatic reading. This is, it is. There's no other way to put it. So a 15-year-old Swedish girl was trafficked into Epstein's home. And Epstein, so here's I'm reading from a deposition transcript. One day this is going to get cut out of context and people are going to say that I said this. And some boomers are going to say, oh, I heard an audio of you saying horrific things. Can't believe you said those things on audio, right? This is literally what's going to happen. This is why a lot of times I don't even like to read this stuff, because when I do, I know that this is going to get cut up, and then I'm going to get a bunch of morons say, oh, I heard this audio of you and you're saying just terrible things. Well, I'm quoting a deposition, such as the perils of it. But the witness said, and I blurted out, you're his personal assistant. What do you do? And she says, I was hired as his executive personal assistant. I schedule his appointments. And I'm shocked. And I blurt out, you seem quite young. How did you get your job? How old are you? And she says to me point blank, I'm 15 years old. This is testimony from a butler. So the butler's saying this. And I said to her, you're 15 years old and you have a position like that? At that point, she just breaks down hysterically. So I feel like I just said something wrong and she will not stop crying. My wife and I were at a loss for words, and I keep on trying to console her, and nothing I was saying. Are you all right? Do you need tissue? Do you need water? Consoles her. And then in a state of shock, she just lets it rip. And what she told me was just unbelievable. She said that she was raped and that her passport was taken and that she was held hostage on Jeffrey Epstein's island. Right? So this is not Jeffrey Epstein. This was a 15-year-old girl. She was flown there. She was told she was going to be able to do some, part-time work, part-time job kind of stuff. And he took her, she's a Swedish girl, he took her passport, and then he just raped her all weekend. Who knows how many of his friends did? All these people who went there, who knows were there at this point. And then she got away, and she just broke down crying to this butler. And this is, again, him reading. And I'm just shocked. So the conversation, and she's just rambling on and on again. Like I said, how she got there, she doesn't know how she got there. And I asked her, did you contact your parents? And she said no. At that point, she says, I'm not supposed to talk about this. I said, how did you get here? I don't understand. We were totally at a loss for words. And she said that before she got there, she was threatened again by Jeffrey and Ghislaine Maxwell not to talk about what I mentioned earlier. Again, the word she used was sex. It wasn't sex. She was 15. It was rape. And during this time, the question is, was rambling what was going on. He said, I'm just shocked. And she's just rambling on and on and on again. She had no idea how she got there. She had no idea how she got away. This was a 15-year-old girl. So what Epstein does is, there's no other way to put it. It's just evil, right? You can't spin that. You can't say, he was in relationships with, kinky relationships with adults. He was a sexual, kept children, underage people as slaves, and hung out with presidents, governors. Harvard has $25 million of his dollars. Harvard said they're not going to give the money back. One of the victims again said Bill Clinton had a private party there. Bill Clinton again denies it. We'll see about that. We'll definitely see about that. So there are more documents coming out from other cases. So this was just, so here's the way the legal posturing kind of works on this. This was one case. There are multiple cases. They're all sealed. Well, now that this one's been unsealed, the dominoes have tipped over, and there's going to be all kinds of unsealed documents. So I think we're going to see more and more information worse, or Epstein maybe is going to fall down a set of stairs or something like that. And do you see? So Ghislaine Maxwell, she would go through clubs. Mar-a-Lago, she found one girl because the girl's dad worked at Mar-a-Lago. And then she would find these girls and, take care of them. Oh, you're not getting enough of this. You're not getting enough of that. And then she'd recruit them and she'd bring them in. And then the girls would be forced to have sex with all kinds of men. The allegations have included everyone from, again, Prince Andrew multiple times. Another prince was listed. A hotelier in France. We don't know his name yet. So there's a lot of people we don't know the names for yet. Again, Governor Bill Richardson, it was alleged. An MIT professor was alleged. A lot of creepy people. And we still don't even know fully what is going on. We just know that it was really bad. So I'll read again some of the allegations. The documents, a portion of the thousands of pages that have been unsealed, offer brutal details about Epstein's trafficking of teenage girls across the United States, Russia, and Sweden, and Maxwell's obsessive and often abusive quest to provide him new girls over the span of years. That's what he would do. He had her, Epstein was, I don't know, in his 50s at the time. He would have his pedophile madam go find underage girls for him. And then he would, tie them up, beat them, make them probably, climb, crawl around, and just things that you can't even imagine. And he did it. It's kind of, you got to remember that he never went to prison for any of this stuff. He got away with it, and he would have gotten away with it, and he would have gotten away with it forever if it hadn't drawn new media scrutiny. Now, one thing that I've noticed is the reporting on it today is a little bit less intense than it is in other days. Why is that? Because the records exonerate Trump. So all these media people, oh yeah, Trump's in trouble. Trump's in, can you believe what's going to happen to Trump? But when you actually read the articles and you read the depositions and you read fully what had happened, Trump was exonerated. Trump had never been to the pedophile island, and Trump had never touched any of these girls. Now the media, they don't really know, they don't know what to do, right? They don't really know what to do now because they got into the story because Alex Acosta was Trump's labor secretary. So the story was a cudgel that hit Trump with. Well, Alexander Acosta gave a sweetheart deal to this pedophile. Alexander Acosta is the Secretary of Labor. So let's go after Acosta as a way to go after Trump. So we'll go after Epstein. This is very sick. Now, I don't think that was Julie Brown's angle necessarily, but that was definitely the media. Yeah, a lot of people have noticed, by the way, they're just observing, making observations that you notice that people, write about everything I do, every tweet I make. I could tweet a bad joke right now and it would be headline news, 1,000 papers, right? So they all read me, all these reporters at the SPLC, they all read me. Nothing about Epstein. We know that Epstein gave $25 million to Harvard. Who else did Epstein give money to? We don't know, but I do find it suspicious that people in groups who write about me every day, oh, Cernovich tweeted this, can you believe it? Oh, 10 years ago he tweeted that, can you believe this? Terrible Cernovich, every day, Cernovich. So they all read me. That's proof they read me. Nothing about it. So I wonder if there's like a, people have to figure out for themselves why that is, right? I find it interesting, though. It's interesting to me that if you read everything I do, then you know about Epstein, but you're not reporting on Epstein. So why are my ramblings more important than Jeff Epstein? I've always said that I think people are hired character assassins, and that people do attack me for evil kind of lurid groups. By the way, if you are on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you are on Facebook, like and share this video. If you're on Periscope, tap the screen a few times, do the old like and share. I always feel weird asking for likes and shares in videos like this, right? I remember we had, when you do reporting on issues like these, you need likes and shares to get the truth out to people. But I've never felt good. It's kind of like you're a lawyer, right? You're a lawyer, you have a client come in, the client got in a horrific accident, they're badly mangled, burned, and you have to get it's called a contingency fee. They sign a contract with you, and you're going to collect a percentage of whatever that person receives. So on the one hand, you're getting the money and you're doing a good thing. But on the other hand, you have bills that you have to do, and it always feels kind of, you feel uncomfortable, right? You feel like you're profiting off of human suffering when that isn't your intent. You're trying to alleviate or prevent future suffering, but you have to do it, right? Same with me as a journalist, as I need to inform people of the great evils and the pedophiles that Epstein and other people are doing. But I also need people to share it so people learn the truth. People learn who was actually doing the reporting on Epstein, because the media has completely tried to write me out of the story. And then, of course, you have the nasty people again who say, why do you care for credit? Well, because moron. Because if the person who does it doesn't get the message out, then how will that person be able to do great things again, right? This is a small, petty-minded way people think that have never succeeded in their lives, which is if a person made something happen, then you want other people to know it so in the future more things can happen. So more people like Epstein can be reported on. So the truth that the media wouldn't report can get out next time. So credit absolutely does matter. And if you're saying that, you don't have any understanding. Now, people, again, did Dershowitz do things with Epstein? That's always been, Dershowitz has denied it, and one girl has said she has. Dershowitz said she's a liar. They're in court. We'll see. We'll see. So my thing with Dershowitz, he goes on Fox all the time because he's like pro-Trump now. And that was because he was just out of the game. He'll do anything for a headline. So Dershowitz was out of the game for a long time, and now suddenly he can't get media coverage because who cares? But now there's nothing conservatives love more than, we got a liberal, converted. So then Dershowitz now is on Fox News, and all these conservatives know who Dershowitz is, so then they want to defend him because he's on Fox News, but I don't care about the guy. I don't think you should either. He's just an opportunist. An opportunist who saw a way to get on Trump. What do I think the next big story will be? I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot more domestic events, domestic acts, right? I think that's going to be the bigger issue. One because the media is reporting on them more, which is going to incentivize people to engage in that kind of behavior more. And then two is, it's a convenient story. But I do think the media is going to be over Epstein because Trump has been completely exonerated. So now that Trump has been completely exonerated, the media, right? So I'll just tweet that out right now. Hold on, don't go anywhere. Now that the Epstein files have exonerated Trump, expect media interest in this story to decline. Which is, you can call it sad but true. It's just reality at this point. I'm just so used to the game. This is the way it works. So now that Trump has been exonerated, now the media's like, well, they didn't care about it before. Acosta was labor secretary. And are they going to care about it now that Trump is, he's cleared? Not that he was ever credibly implicated, but now they're very, 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 very upset. Or they're going to be. They're going to be very upset. So that's the Epstein thing. Pedo files just reveal all. A lot of people are implicated. There have been other cases that are sealed. Those people or those filings are going to be released soon. And when they do, I think that a lot of people are going to be upset. That is for sure. Stay tuned. We got other news. We got other news going on. You ready for it? Philadelphia. Sorry about that. We lost audio. This story hasn't been on CNN and it hasn't been reported well because how do you walk it back when 3 members of Antifa attack a Marine? Which is what happened. How do you walk it back? 3 members of Antifa attacked a Marine, and they are considered domestic extremists by the FBI. Thanks, everybody, for telling me there was audio problems. So let me give you a hint. People. It doesn't do any good when clearly there's audio to tell people, right? To have 20 people say no audio. That doesn't actually help, and I'm going to be blocking anybody else whose sole contribution is to point out the obvious. I got a text from Ali Alexander informing me of the issue of the technical glitch. So yeah, we don't need 10,000 people coming in here. So the FBI is now classifying Antifa as a domestic terrorist group, as an extremist group. That one, though, that story is not going to be reported because, again, you can't walk it back. You can't walk it back. Yeah, there's a glitch now with when I toggle over to the iPad. So we'll just have to stay. You just have to keep looking at me. I like to show you the visuals. I have a new setup. We're still getting the glitches. We're still getting them. We're still getting them made. But it is undoubtedly true that the FBI does now consider Antifa to be domestic extremists, to be domestic terrorists. In light of the fact that a fake story about Ali Alexander having connections to El Paso was made by a reporter connected to Antifa, that will definitely be sent to the FBI. The FBI is definitely more likely to take that disinformation campaign that was spread against Ali Alexander and myself seriously now that we can prove that the FBI is tracking domestic extremism. People complain and I block you. I don't know why people show up and complain. Like, what kind of loser, right? That's your thing, right? Like, what kind of loser do you have to be to go on a stream and just complain? Just very, very hard to understand. But now that we know that the FBI is tracking domestic extremism and tracking domestic terrorism, that disinformation, that dog whistle that directed at Ali's way is being handled. That's why a lot of people go, oh, Cernovich, when people put you on blast, why don't you fight them back? And people want me to fight people on Twitter. I don't fight people on Twitter. If you spread disinformation about me as a dog whistle to a follower of yours who went on a mass shooting in Dayton, Ohio and murdered over 10 people, I'm not going to argue with you on Twitter. I go to the FBI. right? I contact police. I say, look, this is a pro-Antifa person connected to a mass shooter. This is how I word it. I just say this person who is spreading disinformation is connected to a mass shooter, a mass terrorist, and is pro-Antifa. And the FBI is tracking Antifa. I'm not going to argue with people all day on the internet. And then moreover, when you argue with them on the internet, then they say I'm being bullied, being harassed, right? So you can call me, you can spread disinformation about me that's relied upon by the Dayton, Ohio mass shooter. And if I argue with that person on the internet, they will tell me that I'm the one harassing him, that I'm the bad guy here. That's just the way it is. So what I do is I handle all this stuff with law enforcement. That's the way you have to do. Oh yeah, if you're on YouTube, welcome to live chat. If you're on YouTube, like this video and share it. If you're on Facebook, like and share the video. And if you're on Periscope, tap away. Let me know. I'm going to read your comments. I haven't been able to read your comments. What is on everyone's mind? I'll go ahead and read them now that I have a moment. Now that I have the technical. By the way, I am red. I am splotchy. I got a little bit too much sun, a little wind burn. I've been doing a lot of cardio outdoors. I've been doing a lot of cardios outdoor, a lot of hiking, and my face is a little wind burned and a little red. But I've gone to the gym or exercised every day now for at least 18 days in a row. We did a challenge on Spar, which was that you had to read half an hour a day and go to the gym or do something physical an hour a day. Day 18. I did my gym stuff. I have to go do my reading. So I haven't checked in. And you can find, of course, all this stuff out about Epstein at Cernovich.com, CERNOVICH.com, Cernovich.com. A girl says, Abigail says, just go off about it and bring up Bill Clinton. Not really. We're not really talking that much about Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, he traveled with her. That was for sure. He definitely traveled with, according to the witness, he was with him on the island, Jeffrey Epstein. So I don't know if you're being sarcastic or facetious or whatnot, but it's just a fact that Bill Clinton, according to one of the victims, she met him on Jeffrey Epstein's island. But I don't want to make it all about Bill Clinton, right? There's all kinds of stuff too. And Trump was also exonerated. So that's the problem I think that a lot of you have, who, when you're new to Cernovich, you show up and you think that you know, because you have caricatures of people, and you think you know what I think or what I'm going to write about, and you don't know, like, no, I already talked about how Trump was exonerated. And Bill Clinton was down at the island, although there's some testimony that he didn't have sex with any of the girls. So Bill Clinton may be exonerated too. So Trump was fully exonerated. Bill Clinton, according to one of the victims, never had sex with any of them. But Bill Clinton denied going to the island, and she said he'd been to the island. So Bill Clinton is, 50% exonerated. 90. Oh, thanks for the super chat on YouTube. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. There is a super chat if you're on YouTube. And if you're on any other thing else, like and subscribe, like and share. But I'm going to go ahead and read your comments. What do you have to think about anything? What do you have to think about disinformation being spread by Ali to send messages and dog whistles to Antifa? What do you think about... No, I don't think they killed girls for Bill Clinton. I don't think anybody got killed. So, I don't think anyone was actually murdered, at least not in the U.S. Now, over in some parts of the world, maybe they had like a Hostel. Have you ever watched... Who's seen the movie Hostel? There was a movie called Hostel. So maybe in other parts of the world, things like that happened. That is certainly possible in other parts of the world that might have happened, but I don't think that happened in the U.S. anyway. All right, I'll read a few more comments. Let me know what's on your mind. Gorka, new indictments. I don't have any idea what the new indictments are about. Can I tell you what I really think about this whole thing? Sure. What does Mike Cernovich really think about this whole thing? I will tell you. Powerful men will always indulge their vices. So you want to, if you want to just look at the Epstein thing like Mike Cernovich does, because all these things I do are like, whoosh, maybe you have to have the premises, you have to have the upbringing. So powerful men will always indulge their preferences, which in some cases are virtues, in some cases are vices. So let's just start. Number one, powerful men, powerful people too, will always indulge their preferences. That includes virtues and vices. So if you're a generous man like Bill Pulte, or Pulte, however you say his name, he's a very rich man. He's giving a lot of money away to charity and to people randomly, Twitter philanthropy. And why? Because if you have money in America, you have power. His preferences that help people. If you have money and you're in power and your preferences are to date attractive women, that is what men are going to do. That is what Dan Bilzerian, adult women, he's got nothing to do with Epstein. I'm just teaching you how to think about the world and analyze the world. Then most men, right, are going to indulge consensually. And then you have deviants, the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, right? Harvey Weinstein, not a pedophile, but a sexual deviant, a sexual creep, however you'd call it. He's going to indulge that. Why? Because if you have money and power, he can buy off people who would complain, and he can scare away people who can't complain. I mean, think about it, right? I mean, just think about it. Those of you watching me and who have watched the Jeffrey Epstein case unfold, you have been worried about me, Mike Cernovich, right? So get into the mind of a 16-year-old girl in a working class or poor family. If you're worried about me, licensed attorney, 215 pounds, been in some drama before, bigger than average, tall guy, can handle myself, security, know how to do things. You're worried about me, right? You're worried about me because of Epstein, right? So what would a 16-year-old girl do against Jeffrey Epstein? So if you're rich and powerful, same thing with Harvey Weinstein. Why do you think they pick girls' broken homes? What are they going to do? Who are they going to go to? Right? Where are they going to do? Who are they going to go to? No one. So first, their money and power are deterrents. So people are afraid of Epstein. And then people are afraid of Weinstein. And then if anybody ever is able to, stand up to them, they'll just buy them off, right? Buy off their silence. So that's why I don't think Epstein was killing people. He didn't have to. He had them all living in terror of him. He had them all afraid of him. He had them all terrified of him. And then those few people who were able to stand up against him, then he would just buy them off. Now it's easy for people to say, well, why didn't they go to the police? Why didn't they do that? Well, they're poor people, man. These are poor people, dude. I love how courageous everyone is anonymously, right? I really love these like hero fantasies people have. Well, if I were one of these girls, no, you wouldn't have done nothing. You'd have done nothing. You wouldn't even post under your real name, right? You wouldn't have done nothing. Oh, you would not have stood up to a billionaire who could crush you, destroy you, hound you for life, hire private investigators to follow you, wiretap your phones, hack your computer. You would not. You wouldn't. You wouldn't even post under your real name. So get over this whole hero fantasy. Oh, yeah, if I were victimized and vulnerable, I would just stand up against them and go. Who would you go public to? The media? They didn't care. They didn't care about this till there was a Trump angle. This happened. This Epstein stuff has happened forever. Nothing new came out. Well, I mean, strike that. New information has come out, but these cases were all there for years, and the media never cared. You're going to call the New York Times, oh, yeah, I just want to know, Jeffrey Epstein victimized me. Well, Jeff gave $25 million to Harvard. My dad's on the board of Harvard. My dad bought my way into Harvard too. So do I really want to take, kill the goose that laid the golden egg for Jeff Epstein or for Harvard? Jeff Epstein, buying all that influence, buying all that power. So then the idea that first of all, that a 17-year-old girl would have the sophistication to even know what to do, right? So you wouldn't even have the sophistication. You wouldn't have the resources. You'd be afraid. You'd know you're picking a fight with a billionaire who's a pedophile. So if he's a pedophile, he would do anything to destroy you. But then people go, oh, why these girls settle? They should have been whistleblowers. You'd do nothing. So just get it out of your head. Don't spare me the hero fantasies, right? Just spare us all that you wouldn't do nothing, right? So the media protected Epstein. He bought a lot of people. He bought a lot of influence. He spread around a lot of money. And that's how he got away with this for so long. So he bought people. And then those he couldn't buy, he terrorized. So he didn't need to kill anybody. I tell you, man. This is the world we live in. This is, something I go back to a lot of times is a lot of people just don't know. A lot of people just don't know how the world works. What people are getting away with. You think powerful billionaires aren't getting away with worse than this? Right? You think they're not getting away with worse? And you think the media really cares? Where was the media of all these years? If Alexander Acosta had not been appointed, right? If Alexander Acosta had not been appointed labor secretary, media never would have cared about this. Facts. If Alexander Acosta had never been appointed, media would not have cared about this. Just the way it is. And what has changed? What is going to change? I don't know. You tell me. Right? You tell me what's going to change. Tell me when the media moves on because now Trump has been exonerated. They won't care about that anymore. You tell me, right? It first starts with knowledge and information. And it starts with knowing that the media doesn't tell the truth. Media does not tell the truth. Certainly not about me. Right? They do not tell the truth. And go from there. Go from there. Demand honest reporting from the media. Because if the media worked, Epstein wouldn't have got away with this for so long. Right? Because once the media did their jobs and really went after this, then what happened? Well, then magically he's indicted because nobody wants bad press, right? SDNY. They didn't want bad press. So when the media did its job, then lo and behold, actions were taken. And now he's going to be in jail probably for the rest of his life. So that's what we want. We want an honest press. That's what I tell people. If we had honest media, I love real journalism. I love honest media. Problem is it's just rarely honest, and if it is honest, it's usually like frivolous, right? Oh, latest outrage of the day. Here's what people are mad about. Right? Here's what people are mad about today. You know it. Are there more Epsteins? Well, we'll see. Again, there are more files. There are definitely more files to be released. There are definitely more files to be released. All right, friends. Anything else? I'll read a few more comments and we're going to go. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. And if you're on Facebook, be sure to like this video. Give me an emoji. Thumbs up if you like the video. If you're on Facebook, give me a reaction. A wow, a sad and angry. A thumbs up. You let me know. Give me some feedback here. If you're on Facebook, tap the screen a few times if you're on Periscope. I'll read a few more of your comments. I'll read a few more of your comments, and then we're going to go. A few more questions. Consider and ask me anything. How about the FBI covering it up? Yeah, that's, again, there's more, there are more bad actors to be outed. That's for sure. How about the FBI covering it up? That's a good question. I think it's a question that needs to be asked. Where was the FBI? Why weren't they doing more? Why'd they cover it up? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. I think that's an interesting question. Thank you for the breaking news. You're welcome. I'll give you breaking news. I'll tell you. Hey, Ali. Hope Ali is doing well. I'll tell you, does Epstein live to see a trial? He'll plead out and disappear. I think the people he's involved with are so scary and dangerous that even he is afraid, and he's not going to want to mess with that. That's for sure. Mueller's irrelevant, right? Remember Mueller. Nobody remembers anything about Mueller. That's for sure. All right, friends, what website can you visit when I close this Periscope? Tell me what website you can visit when you go to this Periscope. Cernovich.com. Cernovich.com. If you go to Cernovich.com, you can get all of the documents, all of the information, all of the reporting, not just about this, but about everything else. There's always good new information there, podcasts about everything. You name it, we cover it. Cernovich.com, Cernovich.com. I know my Twitter is great. People love to read my Twitter. I know everybody wants to be on my YouTube and everything else. But you have to every day, if you're on YouTube, like this video and then go to Cernovich.com. If you're on Facebook, like this video and then go to Cernovich.com.